Well, this next piece was a little bit more in our world. This guy
Can you pull
who
it up, Jack?
lives or lived, shall I say? I don't know where he lives now, in Long Island, New York. Got a house. Okay, he bought a house in 1998. It was $290,000. He made one single mortgage payment, and then they foreclosed on him in 2000. I don't know what month, but in the year 2000. After 23 years, this guy was just evicted. Just evicted after living in a house paying one mortgage payment. He probably could have saved enough money to pay cash for the house. 23 years. I don't know what the mortgage payment was.
If his credit's good, he could always refi it now.
Well, well, the deal is.
Well, he can't if he's been foreclosed, obviously.
Right. The deal with it is, it was a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. This guy's 52 years old. So, what's that? 20 years ago, 30, 27. I mean, it's ridiculous.
23 years.
23 years where he never made a payment. And if anyone had to question whether or not mortgage companies want to take people's houses, this is proof that we don't want your house. We don't want your house. We just want you to truly
stay to the contract.
Hey, just do what you say you're going to do. Pay your mortgage. You said you're going to pay it. We gave you the money. You're going to pay for it. So 23 years, man. That's a long time. So they said the free ride could finally be over if Nassau County Housing accepts and the decision stands. So there's still a chance that they'll let this dude stay, which I think is ridiculous. He looks able-bodied to me. What do you think?
Oh, he's got plenty of cars.
That's old.
And a Mercedes.
Oh my goodness. He's got a Mercedes.
Well, let me tell you something from the days of when I was selling all the foreclosures back in 2000s, 2008. There was people that the court evicted, but they didn't actually ask them to leave. Some people for 2 years, 3 years
just stayed
after
in the house?
foreclosure, they stayed in the house. Asked for reinstatement.
I mean, it's hard being a landlord. People think it's easy. I know folks want to get out there and do it, but it's tough.
These were for the banks, and I mean, I don't think it's right that people should be able to do it, because I don't think it's fair on the people that pay their mortgages and stick to it. But at the time, if you remember, the banks were getting bad press.
Right,
and they was concerned about, and at the time they had something called robo-signing. I don't know if you remember what robo-signing was.
Robo-signing with the closing documents?
When you did the closing documents, there was a document that you basically, with robo-signing, that you would sign when you buy the house. So in the event that when they tried to notify you and they couldn't get hold of you, then the bank would sign on your behalf on the foreclosure, that they could move forward with the foreclosure. And now I believe it's been outlawed, or they can't do it anymore. That was one of the changes they made. But that was part of the problem at times, because they reckon the stories, how true they are, I really don't know. And I can't confirm them. There was people actually at some of the banks just signing on their behalf and passing the file down. But as I said, I don't think we'll get it back into the situation of early 2000s. I can't see that happening.
Well, you hope that.
I can't.
If we keep pushing for
more printing,
it's
what they're doing.
It doesn't. I don't see how.
I have a very good relationship with an asset manager that I know who previously worked for Fannie Mae. They don't work for Fannie Mae. But they basically said that they can't see that happening again, because now, they'll defer the payment. There's so many different ways now that wasn't available.
Yeah, but deferring the payment doesn't fix the problem. It just pushes it off to the side.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you can only push so much off to the side before you have to face the reality of the problem you're creating.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is the banks are more inclined to try and work with people because they really don't want the asset, like you said.
It costs
They
money.
don't. It does
money.
cost money. It costs more money
Yeah.
to take the asset back than what it does to do a short sale.
Yeah, so if you have a willing party that says they want to pay, they'll more than likely take your money.
And then you've got the bad press on top of that. So, the banks are looking at that. I was talking to an agent down in Lake Jackson that we have, April Vera, who works for some of the banks foreclosing properties, and she said there was the last 12 months, 24 months, more foreclosures, that she's had down there, but maybe had one foreclosure the last 6 months. She's got one at the moment that she just got notified on. They're doing cash for keys.
Right.
And the cash for keys, they're paying $3,800 just to get them to move out.
Wow.
At one time, it was between $500 and $1,000. So you think how much money it's costing banks
Right.
to even get them out of the property?
Before they even put it back on the market,
Right.
hire an agent,
Absolutely.
clean it out, or anything. Yeah.
And there's sometimes with some of these houses now, what they're doing is they're actually foreclosing on the house, and what they're doing is and they're selling the house to people to buy it or auctioning it off with renter in the house and basically saying, you buy the house, your problem. It's a different environment to what it used to be. So that's why I say I can't see that happening. In all fairness, I think the banks are being.
Well, you gotta be. We go through that once. You hope you do things differently.
If a bank loses $60,000 on the house, it's a $60,000 write-off against their profits.
Right.
Well, we're about to see how much money you have on this next one.
Well, at 400 million
yeah.
on that one slide, I think they've got enough money for that.